Hey everyone, happy Monday. How are y'all doing? If you hear music in the background, I'm sorry, that would be my husband. He is constantly playing a song right now that he knows drives me up the wall. And it only drives me up the wall because he's played it about 100 times. So, you know, it is what it is. But, okay, so let's get busy with today. I'm going to find my page and find where I have gone live. I'm hoping I'm in the right place. Oh, there we are. Okay. Yep. Okay. That is it. All right. Hello, hello. Let me share this to my group. Maybe. Share. Uh-oh. Well, it is not going to let me share. Let's try it a different way. All right. Hey, Susan. How are you doing? Good evening, Verna. All right. I'm really going to try to share this, but it's not going to let me share it to Facebook. All right. Y'all know they change it on me all the time here. Okay. So while I'm trying to figure this out, go ahead and make sure that you comment and share the video. Make sure that when you comment that you say you shared it so that your name can go into the drawing for next week. All right, let's see. I'm going to try to go to it a different way and see if it'll let me do it. Well, now I can't even find myself. Oh, there we go. All right, let's see. Share. Nope, it won't let me do it, so I'll have to share it afterwards. Oh, well, that is fine. I know there's a couple people who come over from the group, so I was trying to get it to share over there. But it is what it is. So, all right. Let's go ahead and get started. And these are the two prizes from last week. Melissa won the Happy Thoughts stamp set, and then the Circle Celebration is Kathy. So I will get these in the mail. I have both of y'all's addresses, so I will get that in there. And that says Morgan because it's really her daughter that watches everything. So I will get those in the mail. Next week I will be giving, or for this week, but we'll draw names next week, I will be giving away the Blushing Bride ribbon. So this is retiring this month. So that is one prize. And then the other one is the Well Suited Twine Combo Pack, which is retiring at the end of this month as well. So make sure you comment that you have shared so that I can get that out. Don't forget that this mini catalog is it's retiring at the end of June. So make sure that you get what you want out of it because a lot of this is not carrying over. So once it's gone, it is gone. I know that several things have already gone, like they are done. You can't get them. I think it's the kangaroo dies, and I know the paper here is completely gone, so you can't get any more of that. The stamp set and the dies will carry over to the new catalog, but I know the paper will not, and it is gone. So make sure that you check out what you want because today is also the last day to get in with the Connect, Craft, and Collect. It's $25 extra in Stampin' rewards if you spend $250. So if you want this, make sure If you want anything out of this catalog, make sure you do it today because you can get that extra $25. And I have loved all the people who have taken advantage of that. I might have taken advantage of it myself as well. So, let's see. Bingo. Today is the last day to register for bingo. Well, it says the 12th, but I am not ordering anything until I actually get off a Facebook Live tonight. So you can still get in on the registering. I know we have a couple spots left. The lady that I'm doing it with, she had a couple spots come open, and I've had a couple people who have now, they've already paid, but they won't actually be able to show up now. So those spots are open if anybody actually wants to do it, and they'll just get their packets in the mail to them. So they'll just get the make and takes. But if you're interested, let me know, and I can send you the registration link, and actually it's in the description of this video. So check that out. Paper Pumpkin. I'm super excited about this one. Y'all know I love the adventure ones. So this Paper Pumpkin will be, you can sign up for it until up until July the 10th. So it is called The Adventure Begins, and these are just a little sneak peek of what is in the kit. So this one will be a good one, and you know I will have some alternative projects for that. All right, that's it. I don't have anything else to talk. Oh, no, wait, I take it all back. Sorry. 2 more things. Of course, right? Okay, Club. Club is where you pay $39 a month and you get about $20. It's usually about $22 in products every month. You get 5 projects for the month of June to July. So you will have from now until July the 15th to register or subscribe to it. And then I will mail all the kits out by July the 27th. We are going to be using the Color and Contour bundle. I absolutely love this bundle. I love the frames that you have here. Labels, is that, if that's what you want to call it. But this is my favorite piece right here. I absolutely love it. So anyway, this is it. These are the projects that will be in the Make and Take kit. So you've got that one and then that one. So these are the normal 5 projects that you would do. This month is 6. So it's a little added on box. If you don't like boxes, that's fine. You can actually take the cardstock and turn it into a card instead. So this one will come with a half a pack of the DSP that is called, I'm pretty sure this is the hand pinned. No. This is the, y'all, I've drawn a blank. I don't remember. It's the one I don't like because I don't do them. Anyway, this paper. And then you'll also get the gems here. For the box, there is Velcro on it, so you'll get this in your kit for your Make and Take as well. But there is one other thing. You'll get the pack of combo twine, but I'm currently using that on some other projects, so that's why it's not in here. But anyway, this is Club. Make sure that you look, pansies. Thank you, Susan. Pansies. This is the pansy paper. Make sure you look at the description of the video, all the information. You can click on it and it'll take you right to all that information. The last thing I have is card class. Card class for July will be using the, sorry, I have to pull out my tray for this one. We'll be using, these are going to be the 3 cards for class. And class is July the 3rd. Registration link is in the video, so make sure you check that out. But we will be using the Biggest Wish stamp set and then the Plenty of Patterns decorative mask. So it's these masks right here. Let me see if I can put it there so you can see it a little bit better. And then you've got that one. Probably can't see it really well on the wood, but and you got this one, which this one looks like a mermaid. This one, I like this one. So anyway, So if you're interested in class, class is $25. You always get a little free gift in it from me now as well. But it will be these 3 cards. You'll make 2 of each design. So it's a total of 6 cards. You can either pay the fee or you can order from my online store. And all the links and all that are in the video as well. So, hey Melissa, yep, that's fine. The replay will be right here on Facebook, and I'm going to try to upload the right video to YouTube tonight. So, all right, so that's it. Again, if you have any questions, you can email me. I will be happy to answer it. But most of the things that I've gone over, they're all in the description of this video. So check that out. All right, let's move on to today's projects. This was a stamp set that I really, when I saw it, I fell in love with it. I love to travel. My husband loves to travel. We try to do a lot of traveling. We're picking back up with our traveling now that everything is opening back up. So this stamp set really had my name on it. So we're going to make this project, and this project with this stamp set right here. I did make one other project that kind of made the, what I call the reject pile, but I will post about this on my blog on Wednesday. So you'll have the measurements and stuff for that on there. But that's just a little extra. All right. So let's start with our box first. Let me put those back in the little things there. All right. So we're going to start with a piece of balmy blue paper. Now, let me show you what's in here. And if you go to my blog, you can read about why I chose gum. and I'll tell you too. So when you fly, it is always handy, or even when you go to the mountains, it's always handy to have gum because it helps with the popping of your ears. So this is why I chose to put a box together for gum, because it has the little paper airplane in it. So that is the box for it. So we will make that. I have a little cheat sheet here of it. And we're going to pull out the Simply Scored. Now, all these measurements are on the blog post, so go and check that out. And I do need to go back and post a picture of this, but the actual score marks and all of that is in that description. All right, so on our long side, so it's 11 by 5 1/4. So on our 11 side, we're going to score at 4 1/2, 5 1/4, 9 3/4, and then 10 1/2. Okay. Then we're going to flip it to our short side. We're going to score it at 3/4, 4, and 4 3/4. Okay. All right, then we will get rid of this. Thank you, Berna. And we're going to fold on all these score lines. We're going to use our bone folder just to make sure that it gives it a good crease. All right, almost done. Okay, so now we've got all those folded and we are ready to cut. So what we're gonna do first is we are gonna cut, I'm gonna pick a good pair of scissors here that I know will cut paper. So we're gonna follow this diagram right here. All right, so we wanna leave all of this on, but we wanna cut this off. We wanna cut off the top one. But we're gonna cut all the way down and then all the way down like that. And then we're gonna cut off half of this tab here. So then it will take off the top tab. Because we don't need it that long to go into the box. And then we will trim these at an angle, like that. Okay. Now, we need to keep this one right here, so we're going to do the same thing. All right, and then we're going to cut at about half, and then we're going to notch in. Okay? All right, now the next thing is, I'm going to turn it like this so you can see it. We need to cut off this entire piece right here. And we're actually going to cut these at an angle, so you want to have a little bit of an angle in on them. So we're just going to trim it like that, and it'll cut it right off. And then we'll do this while we're already here. Okay? All right, so that takes care of that one. Now, this we don't need at all. So you can cut this with your trimmer, or you can just take a long pair of scissors, fold back your little tabs, and just chop the whole thing off. And I know that's awkward, but I'm a lefty, and that just seemed to work easier for me, apparently working from left to right when I was designing the box. And I was like, nope, just not even going to change it to make it easier. So I'm going to trim up this side on the inside of that score line just real quick. Okay. All right, so there is that. Now, we need to do the bottom part. So all this is staying, but what we want to do is cut up on these two tabs here. And I'm going to go back to my little scissors. But they're going to be at an angle. The little tabs are going to be at an angle. So we're going to cut at an angle on the inside and then straight up on the long tab. All right. And then we will pull those out. Okay, and then that is it for the cutting. Now what we want to do is we want to round this little piece up here. So we are going to use this detailed trio punch. I'm going to fold this back like this, and then I'm going to stick it in on this side, and I'm going to round those corners. And now I don't need it folded because I flipped it, so there we go. Okay, now before we start anything else, we want to stamp our image. All right, I'm gonna move this out the way. So we are gonna use Balmy Blue. So we're gonna just stamp color on color. We're gonna grab the little paper airplane, and I love that it's got the little dots after it. And we're gonna ink it up. I'm gonna grab a piece of grid paper so we can do a little stamping off. Now, I'm going to just stamp over the whole thing because when I put it all together, I realized that this was all blank and that bothered me. So, I'm going to just stamp over the whole thing. All right, so we're going to start up here and we're just going to go in different directions. Because, you know, when you fly a paper airplane, you never know what direction it's going to go in, do you? It gets real crazy at times. All right, and we're going to do that one. And then let's do here and here. Okay, and then let's keep going. So this does take just a little time, but it's well worth it in the end. And let's turn and go sideways like that. And then we'll go like that. And then we'll do one more right here. Okay, so now the whole thing is done. And I'm going to put that aside so I don't get anything inked up. And now let's put our box together. right. So we are going to take Stampin' Seal Plus, and we're going to run it along that line, that little small one. And then you're going to literally take, and I just fold over like this, and then when you lay this part over, it will fit right down in place where it's supposed to be. Okay? Now, we're going to tuck in these two tabs. This is the front of our box, so we want this tab to face the back, and we want that to be on top. So we're going to fold this over, give this some adhesive right here, and then fold it together like that. Okay? And you can stick your bone folder in there to make sure that it's in there real good. And then you'll fold those two in, and then there's your box. Okay, I'm gonna take the gum from the other one because I didn't have two of these gum packs. And we're gonna stick it right in here like that. And then we'll seal it back up. Okay, now we're gonna take our ribbon. And this is from the Playful Pets combo pack. We are going to tie it. Well, we're going to actually just wrap it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to put a little bit of adhesive right about there. And then we're just going to let these ends meet. Like that. Okay, and then we're just going to cut this off. All right. While I've got the ribbon out, I'm going to go ahead and tie our little bow. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite new die sets, like the whole thing. Like I'm totally in love with the whole set. And I use it, I'm pretty sure on every single project. Oh, nope, on 2 of the projects today. Okay, so there's our little bow. Now we're just going to trim off the tails like that. And we're going to set that aside for just a minute. We're going to trim that a little better. Okay, so we are done with that. And then we are going to grab a scrap piece of white paper. I'm gonna do that one since it's a little smaller. We're gonna take our sentiment, which says, "This is the beginning of anything you want." Black memento. And we're gonna ink it up real good. If you want a really, really solid image on this, you can use the Stamparatus and ink it up multiple times, or you could even use Stays On. Either one. I think that does pretty good, although it'll be all right. We're gonna go with it. We'll use a cloud to cover it up if we need to. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to take this piece right here. We're going to cut our clouds from it. And we're going to take a piece of real red. And we're going to cut out the heart. Now, I got the heart from Give It a Whirl dies. Y'all, these dies are amazing. Okay, I know that it's for like the little cards that you can turn and all that. But y'all, look at the dies that are in it. You've got these clouds. You've got a circle. This one we're going to use as the sun in one of our 3rd projects. You've got a label here. More hearts, another label. These are perfect. And some stars. You can never have enough stars or hearts. So this will probably be my new set to go to for the heart. As you know, I was really sad when the stitched heart dies kind of retired last month. So I'm glad I have a little bit of a replacement there. So we're going to use that and cut it out there. All right, and I'm going to set these aside. We're going to use them again, so I'm going to make sure I don't lose them. Okay, they're not going in. There we go. All right, so we're going to pull in our little mini cut and emboss machine. I'm going to move this piece of paper real quick. The label that we're going to actually use to cut this out is from the Tasteful Labels, and it's this one right here. All right. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to put it sideways so you guys can see a little better. Somehow I have gotten all kind of discombobulated, I guess, in my little space over here. Okay, so we're going to stick that there. We're going to put the heart on the end. I'm just going to rip that off so that we can run both of these through at the same time. Let's move that up. Okay, and then our heart. Let's just do that. All right, let's make sure that's straight. And then we're gonna run both of them through. And then we'll run through our clouds separately. All right, let's lay all that there. Like that. And then our clouds. So we need all 3 clouds from this set. So we're just going to lay them all out here like that. Okay. And then we're going to need one more of the clouds, so we're going to run it through one more time. And sorry for all the shaking. All right. So we're going to cut out this one. We're going to actually cut out, let's see if we can cut out the big one. I kind of like the shape of the big one. All right. Perfect. Okay, so that's everything we need to cut out for this project. We'll stick those aside. And I'm going to move the dies so I don't lose them. And throw that away. Throw that away. And throw that away. Okay. All right, that cloud is stuck in there. So I'm just going to drop my die on the table and it makes it come out, which is always good. Okay. Now, one thing we want to do is we kind of want to give the white clouds a little bit of a blue outline. So we're just going to give it a little bit of a dabber on the side. So we're just taking a sponge and I'm just rubbing the ink right around it. And it's not a lot of ink. If you'll look, I got a lot of ink on this one and I didn't like it. So I wanted light, a light shading on the outside. And we're gonna need to get a little bit more ink from the Balmy Blue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ink it up, give it a couple inks, and then I'm gonna dab it off onto my scrap so that it doesn't give it a dark blue color around the edges. What I'm just trying to do is just create a little shadow on it so it kind of pops out a little. See, I didn't get it off enough. There we go. Okay. All right, so there we go. And then we're gonna start assembling. I need to move my trash bucket over here. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put our sentiment right about there. So we are gonna do it with dimensionals. And I'm gonna do 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. And that's gonna straddle that ribbon. Okay, then we're gonna take this cloud, and since I messed up right there, what we're gonna do is use a small one. All right, so we're gonna put that one right about there. So we need a dimensional here, and then some adhesive on the other side. And then we will stick that there. Okay, now it covered up my little blemish there. So now we're just gonna stack these around. All right. So we're going to put this one right about here. And then we will put this one right about there. Actually, let's, we may cut off. Nah. We'll stick it right there. All right, so, sorry, I had to think on that one for a second. All right, I'm gonna do a mini dimensional on the little piece of it so that it doesn't stick out. And then, all right, so we're gonna stick this one way over here, but not so that it hangs off. There we go. All right, and then this one is gonna go right about here. So just a little bit, I don't like that. So we'll just pause there. We'll figure it out. We're gonna put all the other stuff on first and then we'll figure it out. All right. All this started because of my little mistake on the ink, but it's all right. Okay, let's put this piece right here. So if we put that there, then we can put this one, you know what, we'll just put it down further. That's what we'll do. Okay. I need to stop thinking about it so much and just do it. All right. Sometimes I think a little too long about placement. All right. So we'll put this one right here. Okay. Which will be perfect because then our heart will go right there and we'll just put a dimensional in the middle of it like that. Then we will take a mini glue dot and then we will stick it in the middle and ta-da, there is your box. I do think that you probably need another little cloud there, but you can, you know, if you decide to make the project, just don't make the little ink mark and then you'll be just fine. All right, so there is the first project. Yay. And then let's move on to the second project. Let me get all my inky stuff out the way. All right. Project number 2 is probably my favorite out of today. And the reason for that is it's black, white, and pink. Now, I will say I'm probably not the hugest pink person. Like, it's not probably one of my favorite colors, but I love it with black and white. So this will be our project here. Now, I did a lot of the, yes, because I did a lot of fussy cutting. So I did go ahead and do these two. This is using the gold and rose gold paper, and I'm trying to pull it out so that I can show you. Okay, so it's the metallic specialty paper. Y'all, this paper is gorgeous. You probably can't see it very well. It's probably got a glare on it, but let me see if I can take it out and it maybe won't glare as much. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right, so that's the paper. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, a suggestion, if you decide to make this project, you want to stamp with StazOn on both of these so that it will stay. The black memento will smear. So, just a heads up. Okay, so I've already done those two. And I went ahead and stamped that envelope, so I got to remember to stamp my other one. That is scrap. All right, this is our card base, so we're just going to fold that over, give it a good burnish. Then we're going to take a piece of the patterned party, I think is what it's called. Hold on. I will give you the exact name, because I want to call it something wrong every time. Yep, Pattern Party Designer Series paper. So you're going to take that and attach it right up here on top. And I'm just going to use the Stampin' Seal that I've already got out. Make sure I'm in the screen. And I'm just rubbing the adhesive off the edges there. Okay, I'm gonna line it up with this corner over here. And then I'm gonna line it up with this corner over here. And then make sure that it falls even all the way across like that. Okay, so there is that piece. Now we're gonna cut the bottom off of this piece so that it gives it a little bit of a scalloped and stitched. And I use the basic borders for that. I use this piece right here. And I use this section of it to make it straight. So we will do that in just a second. First, we're gonna stamp. This is using the You're a Peach Designer Series paper. If you don't have this paper, I absolutely love it. The back side of it is fantastic. But we're gonna stamp our suitcase on it and then we're gonna fussy cut it out. So I'm gonna grab that. And since we are not stamping on the metallic paper, I'm just gonna use regular black Memento. I'll put my other projects out the way so I don't get them all inked up. And then while I'm stamping my suitcase on this paper, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my envelope. So that is all done and ready to go. All right. I'm gonna move that out the way. I'm gonna go ahead, actually, while I've got this out, let me go ahead and stamp my sentiment on here. There it is, right in front of my face. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp there. And then we're going to, with the clear, I always tend to do this. Let me just stamp it again, because I don't think it'll get it out. I probably rocked it a little bit. There we go. I typically trim off these little extra pieces so that I don't do that, but I haven't done that with this stamp yet. Okay, so let me cut off the bad one. All right, so there's our sentiment. And then let's see, I think that is all the stamping. Yep, that is it. So I'm gonna put that aside. Now I'm gonna cut out this. And y'all know I don't like fussy cutting, but this one is not too shabby. So just follow along that line, and it is actually quick because it is mostly straight lines, so it's not too bad. The tricky part is getting in between the handle. And I originally wasn't gonna do in between the handle, but I found I liked it better without the handle interior, just because I have stamped it on a colored cardstock. So all right, sorry, I gotta concentrate, make sure I don't cut anything off. Like a finger. That would probably be what I would do. All right. And I'm making sure to turn the paper, not the scissors, because that does help to guide it a little easier. All right. So now that I've got that, I need to do the inside here. So what I did was I folded it down just a little bit and gave it a snip like that. Okay. And then we're just gonna cut out the inside. And it does not have to be perfect by any means. Just be careful doing it because it is smaller area, so you're liable to get your finger. So just take your time with it. Okay. All right, so there we go. Now we are going to start running everything through our little embossing machine. So I'm going to take this little piece, and this is not going to fit through the little one, actually. So we need to bring in the big one, which is fine because then we can cut both of them at the same time. And we're gonna put this here. Take our little scallop die and put it right about there. Okay. Then we're gonna put this here, and we are using this label from the Give It a Whirl. All right. And then we're gonna run it through, which everything just shifted, but we're gonna make it work. Yep, there we go. Okay. I got our piece there. Let's put that one back there. That one back over here, and move that. And then there's our little sentiment. Okay. All right, so now we're going to take our pink piece here, and we're gonna line it up right about there. We're gonna put dimensionals on the back of it. I lost my dimensionals. And this is DSP, so I am gonna use just a couple extra ones just to make sure that it stays. Because I don't want it to go flat. It is a cute card, in my opinion. So, want to make sure I keep it that way. All right, so then we're gonna line this up kind of in the center. And then put it down, okay? And I'm just 2 down from the top. All right. Let's arrange our suitcases. So we're gonna put this one right about here. All we're gonna do is put adhesive on the back. And we're gonna put it right about there. Then we wanna put our pink one, and we're gonna put it off so that you're seeing more of it on the black and white, which means that you can actually see it, okay? So we're gonna put adhesive on one side and then put dimensionals on the other. And then we're just gonna line it up at an angle right about there, okay? Our blue one is gonna be flat right about here. So all we need is adhesive on the back, like that. Okay, and then our sentiment's gonna go on, but first we're gonna add a little bit of a bow. And you are gonna be shocked. This is all I have left of linen thread. I have ordered some. It is on its way. Because y'all know how much I love my linen thread. I use it all the time. Okay, so we just need a little big of a bow right there. So we're gonna get a mini glue dot and attach it. Like that. Okay, and then we're gonna cut off the end like that, and we might cut those down just a little bit more. Let's do that actually, just so they're not too long. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to put dimensionals on each end of our sentiment, so one on each side, and that knot in the bow is going to keep up the center. So we will stick this right about here. I do want to, I want to have it hang off just slightly, like that. Okay, I am good with that. All right, perfect. So there is card number 2, or there is project number 2, card number 1. Okay. I'll stick those in there. And then I need that again, so I'm gonna leave that over here. And we're gonna pull in the last one. Okay, the last one looks a little complicated, but I promise you it is not. It is very easy. We are going to use the layering diorama, I think is how you pronounce it, dies. And we are going to use the Give It a Whirl dies again, okay? Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to take my card base and I want to fold it in half. Then I want to give it a good crease. Now, I need to create this background here. So, we're going to do some blending. We are going to take Pale Papaya and Calypso Coral, and we're going to create a sunset. Now, if you notice, there is a white edge. So, you want to make sure that you don't go too close to your edges when you do this. So we're going to start with Pale Papaya, and we want Pale Papaya at the top. Okay, I'm going to pull in my scrap paper again. I'm going to go off a little bit, and then I'm going to run it up here. Now, Pale Papaya, you're going to have to do a couple of times because you do want to get it dark. It will pull out a little bit more color when you put the Calypso Coral on it, just so you know. But the Pale Papaya is a little light. All right, I'm good with that. So let's go to the Calypso Coral. Change brushes. All right, the Calypso Coral you definitely want to get off, and then you just want to have a light hand with it at first. And sorry about the shaking. I know it probably makes you sick. Okay. All right, so I'm good with that. And I'm pretty sure that that will fit over all of it because it is pretty close to those borders. So we're gonna leave it at that. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to cut out our, let's actually do our stamping before we do any of that. I want to make sure I stamp everything first that I need to. Okay, we're going to use this piece of scrap, and we're going to stamp Bon Voyage. Let's see. And there we go. Sorry. Right in front of my face. I was looking for the black memento. All right, so we're going to stamp this right about here. Bon Voyage. There we go. If I can say it right today. Then we are going to stamp our sailboats. Now, while I've got the sailboat and I'm stamping it, I'm going to do one there. I'm going to do one there. While I'm doing those, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my envelope. Okay? So I don't have to go back and do it later. Okay. Now that should be all of our stamping. And we are going to color really quick our sailboats. Let me move these aside. All right, so we are gonna do Stampin' Blends, and we need orange, and we're gonna do the dark orange on one. So we're gonna do orange here. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not do any shading for this one. You can go back, I'm sure it will look much better if you do, but I was not gonna do the shading. Let me actually do the long strokes. There we go. All right. Oh, that was almost a disaster. All right, and then we're gonna go up on this one. There we go. Okay, and then we will do our Daffodil Delight, and this is our dark one. And we're gonna do our flag and then our bottom. Then we're going to take the light and we're going to do the top like that. Okay, now I'm going to take the light Daffodil Delight and I'm going to color in this one. I'm going to use the big side, the brush side for this side, so it goes a little faster. Okay, now we're going to use Pool Party. So we're going to do light Pool Party up here on this stripe. Then we're going to do dark on the bottom. Okay, now the last thing I want to do is I'm going to take some crumb cake and I'm just going to do the pole. I didn't like this pole in the center being white, even though it probably is on most sailboats, but that is all right. Okay, now we're going to put all of those away. I'm going to move them out of my way. I have 2 pieces of Pool Party. I originally was going to try to do 4 layers, but I didn't end up liking it. So I'm just going to use these pieces to cut out the bigger dies. yeah, the layering diorama, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, diorama. They are crazy, but you know, Verna, I have seen some amazing cards with them, and I love that it creates this offset for like sunsets and picture frames and all that. Like, I really like that part of it. So okay, I'm gonna bring in the big machine, and first, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this, and then I'm going to cut off those. Okay, so I've got me some scrap paper for later. All right, now actually I need probably this right here for the clouds. Okay, we're going to see how much we can fit onto these. We have to fussy cut, so we're going to set those aside. And I'm going to move everything. I'm putting myself in a little bit of a corner. All right. Okay, so we are here. I'm going to move this over here real quick, so I've got some room. All right. We're going to see what all we can get on here. I'm going to cut off that part. Oop. Maybe. And then this should be enough to cut it out. And this is going to be our sun, so we're going to set that up there. And this comes from the Give It a Whirl dies. And let's see, here we go. Yep, I gave myself just enough. Good job. All right, so we've got that one. We're gonna put that there. We're gonna use the label die from Give It a Whirl, and it fits perfectly around that sentiment, like that. Okay, then we need to do the 3 clouds. I think that's all we'll get through on this pass. We won't tempt fate. All right. Sorry for the shaking. Okay, we're gonna take all this off. I'm gonna throw it all over here for now, and then have a little pile. All right, now we're gonna stick this one up here. We're gonna stick this one down here. Then we're gonna stick this in the center and stick this one in the center. good enough. And we're gonna run them through. All right. All right, I'm just gonna pull all that off so I can get this out the way. And I'm pretty sure that is all of it, yes. Okay, so now we are going to take, the large one is what goes on top, okay? Now, my pool party paper cardstock is cut to the exact size. The bottom one actually might be slightly larger, so let me do, I'm gonna cut off just a touch of it. I'm not gonna cut off a lot. And you wanna make sure that they are pretty close to size. And the reason is when you go to put it onto your actual cardstock, card base, it makes it really wonky if they're not the same size as far as like you're putting your dimensionals and stuff on. Okay, so our largest one is gonna be on top. So it's gonna look a little like that. I'm gonna flip it like this. Okay, so now what I wanna do is I want to put dimensionals on the back of here. And I am gonna put quite a bit. Just because you do have this inside. Like this. Okay. I think that should, one more right here. And then I'll be happy. Okay. So now we're going to take all these off. And one more. Okay. All right. Now, we've got that there. And we're just going to adhere this right over the other piece. Okay. Now, I did mess up a little bit down here, so I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and just trim it off just a little bit. I'm not going to trim it off a whole lot. Just want to make sure that it's not sticking over that edge. But I want to make sure that I've got a solid background here for when I put it on the card base. We're going to put dimensionals on it. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put it on our card base like that. And we're going to put dimensionals on it again. So it is definitely a dimensional card. And again, I'm putting lots of dimensionals on it because I want to make sure that it does stay. Our cardstock is thicker, but it still will get smushed. Because those postal service people are crazy with the smushing. All right. So we'll take all these off. And then we're gonna stick it right on here like that. Just get it as straight as you can. Okay, now we are going to add our sun first. Now, you will see it is 2 pieces. So we're gonna fix that because I want the whole thing to make up our sun. So I'm gonna flip it over like this. I'm gonna take some tear and tape, and I'm just gonna lay it all across these lines just to make sure that it stays together. And that is the easy way to put 2 pieces of layering together like this. Because a lot of Stampin' Up's dies now have started having where it's 2 in 1, basically. So, all right, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the backings. And now you already have your adhesive on here. So all you have to do is put it in the corner. All right, so we're gonna stick it right about here. Okay, there's our sun. Now we're gonna take that long piece, and now it is truly stuck. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna take this and we're gonna keep it flat right across there. So we're just gonna add some adhesive, and we're gonna put it about like that. Then we're gonna take our big cloud, and we're gonna adhere it up here. And then we're gonna take our little one and we're gonna adhere it right about there. Okay, now we're going to do our sentiment, which is in this pile somewhere. Okay, so it's gonna go on here and it's gonna go with dimensionals. Had to think for a second. But first, let's take a piece of twine and we're gonna wrap it just a couple times. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive right there to keep it. Okay, now we're gonna put mini dimensionals on the back of this one. We're gonna do 3. And then we're gonna straddle that ribbon in between the dimensionals. And we're gonna make sure to cover up that adhesive. Just like that. All right, now we need to do our sailboats. And ladies and gentlemen, we have to fussy cut. Okay, so I'm taking my scissors and I'm just gonna cut these in half. Again, this one is really easy as well. I promise if I am fussy cutting, y'all will be just fine with fussy cutting. Because have I ever told y'all how much I hate fussy cutting? I am getting better at it. And I will do it if it will make a card look cute, but I do not like it. So, but these are pretty easy. Okay, now I'm gonna cut in between both of these, but I'm gonna do it at the end. So I'm gonna cut the bottom off. And then I'm gonna come back in and get these pieces. And I'm gonna shrink down really quick to get it. Let me cut a little bit more off. There we go. All right, and this one we're gonna go in like that. And I'm kind of taking this one at an angle because there's not really any way to get in to that center part. So it's really, I'm just kind of notching it is really what I'm doing, just like I did the box in the beginning. Okay, so there's the first one. And then let's do the second one. So see, not hard at all. Now, I am not going in and cutting that out. Nope. It will just stay and it is fine. It does not bother me. If you have a machine that will do it, have at it, or if you have the patience, then have at it. But nope, that one is not up my wheelhouse. So there's less room with that than there was the suitcases. So okay. All right. Now into this one. And, oh, I'm kind of at the bottom of the screen, sorry. There. I'm just gonna fix that a little bit. There we go. don't want that much white showing. Okay, and then again, we're gonna just notch in on this one. All right, a little piece there. All right, let me clean this up right here. Okay, there's number 2. Now, we're gonna finish our card. So this one is gonna sit right about here. So we just need to put a dimensional right up at the top. So this side, like that. And then we are going to put adhesive on the other part. Now, be careful putting adhesive on the bottom because it can rip. So, suggestion is to take a mini glue dot. Oh, there we go. And put those on there. So I'm just going to take my scissors. I'm going to put one there. And then I'm going to put one on the other side. Okay. All right. And then we will just stick this right here. All right. So that is the first one. And then we want to do the second sailboat. And this one is, did I put it on dimensionals? I'm pretty sure I did. Yes. So all of this one is on dimensionals. So we're going to put 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of this and stick that down there. All right. And then we will stick this one right about, let's actually put this one a little further over here. We want the bottom touching the water. Okay, so there we go. It is actually a pretty simple card. It does look complicated, but it's not when you use those diorama dies. So let me get all of my junk out the way. We're just gonna scoot it all to the side. All right, there we go. And let's bring back in our projects for today. Oh, Florence, you're fine. Yes, and I'm going to try to upload the right video to YouTube for the replay, or you can come back right here on Facebook and do it. Okay, so there are our projects for today. Let me move it over a little bit, apparently. There we go. And don't forget, club, oops, I dropped it. Club, 1 box, but you still will be making 5 cards. So these are the cards. It's $39, and you will get paper, embellishment, and you'll get ribbon in this one, in this month's club. And I'm going to put this in front. There we go. And then here is the paper. So you will get the pansy paper. And then don't forget about class, which is, hold on. Yeah. Sorry, I lost those projects. Which is that one, and that one. And you will make 6 cards. So it'll be 2 of each. All right. And again, I will have this project on my blog, and I'll share that blog directly to Facebook on Wednesday. So you can take a look at this one and you'll get the measurements and all of that. So, all right. I hope you guys have a great night. Last thing, do not forget that today is the last day for the Connect. There it is. Oh, it fell. Today is the very last day for Connect, Craft, and Collect. $25 extra. If you, today is it, June 14th. So if you spend $250, you will get the additional Stampin' reward. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you next time. Bye.